The fake iPhone 17 Pro Max is here, and these always both excite me and terrify me. This year, the iPhone looks very different, but how will the fake iPhone compare? Let's find out. Of course, we have the classic blue box, and inside this blue box, we have a bag. It's a fake Apple bag. But inside this other box, we have, boom, the Apple logo, and if we take it out, the fake iPhone 17 Pro Max. As always, this box is very convincing. We interrupt this video to show you the transparent iPhone 17 Pro Max and how to protect it. I gotta admit though, I was never a fan of the case I'm about to show you right now, but with this phone, it makes so much sense. The logo placement on this phone is kind of weird. Regular cases make it look even weirder. You get this kind of random Apple logo floating between the MagSafe magnets, and you kind of lose that two-tone unibody housing that Apple has going for it this year. For me, there's only two real options. You either go naked and risk it, or you get a case like this. With the Arc Pulse case, you still see your phone, you still feel your phone, all without ruining the aesthetic, and it's still protected. This case protects all the vulnerable points of your device, like the corners and around the camera bump, and inside the case, there's an inner elastomer layer that absorbs the impact of drops. For the iPhone 17 Pro Max, this is one of the best options if you want protection without killing the design, and if you want to check out Arc Pulse for your phone, I'll drop a link in the description. Big thanks to them for sponsoring this video. Back to fake phone. I'm not even surprised anymore by how convincing these boxes are. Obviously, this plastic needs to go because that shouldn't really be there, but if we take it off, now it's extremely convincing. Even the box has kind of a raised texture just like the real one. You can feel it on here, and you can also feel it on here. The print is extremely similar, and to actually tell the difference between the two, I'd have to look over here. The white over here looks a little bit darker. It's kind of like an off-white, while the iPhone, the real iPhone, is just pure white. Let's take a look at the back. So on the back, everything looks really good and really convincing. What we're usually looking for is some spelling mistakes, but I'm not really seeing any this time. Let's bring this guy back in and have a closer look. So they even have the hearing aid compatible information. It's really close. Like, there's no spelling mistakes here, and it's even in French. I'm in Canada, so that means that they specified it for my location, which kind of blows me away. The box being this convincing concerns me. So typically when you shine a black light on a real iPhone box, you get that. It says iPhone with a little QR code, and it also says that at the bottom, right over here. But will the fake box have that? Let's find out. So we're gonna go up top here, and okay, let's go to the bottom. It doesn't look like they added that, which is kind of surprising. They're putting so much effort into the attention to detail, but they still don't have that. I don't know if I want them to or I don't. It would be kind of interesting if they did though. So on the fake box, you'll notice that there is a serial number, an IMEI, and all the relevant information that you typically find on a real iPhone. And unfortunately, when you search up this information online, you will get results saying that this is a real iPhone. So it's still not a good way to find out whether what you're buying is real or fake. It's time to take a look at the actual phone. Will they have been able to copy Apple's new unibody housing? Let's find out. We're gonna pull off this little green tab, and wow, what a satisfying peel. Let's do the next one. Same thing there. Let's see if it does the little slide. And it kind of did. Whoa. The phone actually looks really good. What the hell? The cameras and everything. Wow. All right. Anyway, I'll put this aside because I do want to see what's inside the rest of the box. So we have a USB C to C cable with the SIM ejector pin. Based on your region, you'll get this. I'm in Canada, so I probably shouldn't have this. And we also have an upside down iPhone manual. I'm not sure why they put that upside down. These are the little details that you're not going to find in the box. And also, you can do that. So if you get a box and you can just do that, I would be sketched out. Taking a look at the actual phone itself, this thing's heavy. It genuinely feels like a real iPhone 17 Pro Max. We also have a little scratch up here, which not very nice. But the cameras this year, they look really good. The only one that looks bad is the real camera, typically at least. I don't know what the inside looks like, but typically that's the real camera. That one doesn't look too great. I'm also really curious to see if this is backglass or not, but the sides, it genuinely feels like this is aluminum. Like, it has the weight, and wait, what the hell? At the bottom, we have 2 fake pentalobe screws. I don't know why they couldn't just put real screws in it. It's literally just a cutout of a pentalobe shape at the bottom. There's no screws down there. That's kind of funny. It's time to remove the peel and take a look at the display. They improved a lot in terms of aesthetics of this fake phone. Hopefully the display also got some improvements. We'll peel this back and we can reveal what looks to be a decently sized chin. And up there, ooh, the dynamic island looks pretty good, honestly. So does the front camera. Before we turn this guy on and see if it has iOS 26, I want to see if there's MagSafe magnets inside, and I want to see how exactly they recreated Apple's unibody housing. Let's check it out by first removing the back glass. Using a suction cup and a plastic pry card, we can remove the back glass, which might be plastic, but we'll find out later. I'm also kind of curious to see if this glass or plastic fits on a real iPhone 17 Pro Max. I'll probably do that for a short video, but until then, we can open it up. And what the hell? It looks like there is no MagSafe or wireless charging, which is pretty typical of these, but there is something pretty surprising. The battery on here is 5,300 milliamp hours, which is actually larger than the real iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, will it last as long? Probably not, but that's kind of strange to see. I have no idea how to go further, so I'm just gonna hit this with an unscrew. Pop this out. Okay, so far I see the speaker, the SIM card tray, an SD card reader, the subboard, but up here is still kind of a mystery. I wonder if this comes out. What the hell is this? Okay, this is the weirdest fake phone design I've ever seen. They clearly put some effort into making this though. More effort than they have in the past. This phone is completely redesigned. We'll pull this off and check that out. The camera actually looks pretty good, but they stuffed all the internals up at the top here, and we actually have some scribbles. That's nice. A lot of these components are usually hard soldered, but it seems like they're weaning away from that this year. And the battery, you can also just disconnect. It's very nice to see. Same thing with the front camera. That just comes right out. I'm kind of impressed. They did a really good job copying the real iPhone, even down to the internals. Earlier, I was wondering if on the back they actually used real glass for this little window, and unfortunately, I can confirm that it is. The back glass actually broke while we were bending it, but it's kind of cool that they did use real glass. It's time to boot the fake iPhone 17 Pro Max on. I really want to see if this has iOS 26 or anything close to it, and how good are those cameras, front and back? The screen doesn't look half bad with the Apple logo on, but I can already tell that this is an LCD. It's not an OLED. With this top-down shot right now, the phone actually looks incredibly legit, but if we go to the handheld, you can kind of see that little freaking chin that it has. And there we go. Now we can actually see the screen, and there is a pretty big chin. If you're buying a phone and it has a chin and it's not supposed to have a chin, don't buy it. It's not a good idea. Let's activate the phone, and the touch is very responsive on it. Let's go to Canada. It looks like they did actually make some changes. It feels like the animations are a lot faster for some reason. What the hell is this? I was setting up the Wi-Fi and it doesn't look good. This phone does not seem to be using liquid glass in the setup screen, that's for sure. We'll finish this up. And what the hell? Okay, that's a surprise. They actually do have the liquid glass welcome animation. It doesn't look as good as the original, but it's there. So that means they made some efforts to make this phone liquid glass. Let's see just how far they went though. Okay. Taking a look at this phone, you instantly get the feeling that something is off. Things like the control center and the notification center are just dead giveaways. Like, this screams Android. The operating system behind this is obviously Android, but interestingly enough, there's no visible Play Store like there usually is. Instead, you have this App Store, which has a limited selection of apps and nothing really installs from it. It's very broken. Since this isn't working, there is actually a workaround. If you just go to the Play Store on the web, you can download the apps that you want with no trouble, and that's how I got all of these on. All of these includes CPU-X, which actually will reveal some of the specs of this phone. So on this phone, and this is confirmed, we have a MediaTek 6765 processor, which is slightly better than the last few we've seen. We also have 6 gigabytes of RAM and a whopping 109 gigabytes of storage. Again, this is all confirmed, so this is the actual specs of the phone, which is cool to see. For things like the compass and the level, all of this information is completely spoofed. They just throw in random numbers that cycle every few seconds, and that's the information that you see. The screen of this phone though, actually kind of impressive for a fake phone. It's 1560 by 720 and it's 60 Hertz. You can actually tell the screen looks way better than it used to. If we go to the fake device tester app, which tells you if the phone is fake or not, and no surprise, it told us it was fake, but it also told us that it was running Android OS version 10, which is from 2019. I actually wanted to do some benchmark testing with 3D Mark and Geekbench 6, but none of them worked. So here's me playing Genshin Impact. Now's the time where I tell you to stop asking for the link to these fake phones in the comments. You do not want it. This thing is slow and absolutely not worth the price people sell them for. It exists for one purpose, and that's scamming people, so beware of these devices. There's one last thing to test out, and it is the cameras. Interestingly enough, the app actually looks as it should with iOS 26, but let's see how good the cameras are outside. Not only did they improve the look of the camera control button, but this year it actually works really well. The slide to zoom is a bit slow, but it does slide to zoom. It can also change the camera mode, but it doesn't really seem to do anything. Let's take a look at the camera quality of the fake phone versus the real phone. This is what the fake iPhone 17 Pro Max looks and sounds like, and this is what the real iPhone 17 Pro Max looks and sounds like. We're out here in Canada's capital and it's a dull day, but the fake phone makes the colors look way more dull, and that autofocus is also really bad. Now let's check out the front camera. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I look kind of crazy in this front camera. It's not a good look. It's very retro. This is my cameraman. He looks like Curtis Connor. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell button. I'll see you in the next one.